Peace, my family, and roll back to all those coming out of that good cocoon for the first time. Welcome. This your girl, the butterfly. We about to take off. Let's fly. Just want to send you all the good healing energy your way. Peace, love, happiness, harmony, and abundance. Hope you guys are out there keeping your mind right in that good mind. How y'all feeling? Hope you guys most definitely moving on up in your higher natures and cleansing. Definitely cleansing the lows. I came in here today to express. How y'all feeling on this good journey within? I know yesterday, I went a little woohoo. Alright. But, sometimes on this good journey within, that's needed. Because at some point, you can't hold it in. If it's something that comes to the first surface, you have to get it on out, right? And that message was really for, whoever's sending me that spiritual message that was on, the demonic side of things, trying to get me to, take off my white bra, on that too. Anywho, I'm just telling you that on this journey, you're gonna have experiences like that, where people try to, send, psychic attacks and things like that to try to mess with you and things like that. That's a part of the journey, right? And so, that message was really for whoever, that was, right? So, anywho, I came on here today to express. And like I said before, our journey, the journey is raw. Again, people want to sit here and act like, maybe they're one way with it, with how their personality is. But let me just say that what people sometimes don't realize is that we have different parts of ourselves. And it's very important to, really see what that is within you. Because some stuff come out, you're like, where did that come from, right? And we have different parts of ourselves, and it's good to express it sometimes depending on, what is needed, right? As long as you know how to use it, right? And it's very important. Anywho, I came on here to talk to y'all because, let me just say this, it's just something that's been on my heart and mind, right? Our master teacher, Dr. Malachi is not an holy man, right? Let me repeat that one more time. Our master teacher, Dr. Malachi is not a holy man, right? He's an extraterrestrial, right? An angelic being, right? And when I say this, what I mean by that is people get all up into the holier than thou type of thing when it comes to religions and things like that. And I'm just saying this because when you begin to move into the reality of what life really is, and you begin to understand where all the religions came from, and you begin to venture off into knowing the truth and where everything originated from, and goes into quantum physics and goes into the cosmos, and seeing what life really is, and it's very important that we begin to see life for what it really is, right? See ourselves for who we really are, right? And we have to understand that We know nothing compared to the boundless universes. As we begin to learn more of what the Most High wanted us to know, the right knowledge that we need to help us in this room and back into the stars, right? We must understand that all of the right knowledge is needed to raise your consciousness levels up, right? And once you begin to develop and learn, in the Holy Tablets it says, as you begin to develop and learn, you begin to develop yourself into one of the chosen ones. And that's what it says in the Holy Tablets, right? And if you have checking that out, that's good, because you're gonna need it, right? It gives you a breakdown of it all, right? And that's what it is, right? That's what you have to do. And that's how you become, one of the ones that are counted in this world, right? It's very important, right? Because, again, that's what this is all about. Are you going to accept the truth for what it is, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly of it. Are you going to accept it all? Some people can't handle the truth, Some people run from it. Some people fear it, My question is, why do you fear if you know, it was given to you by the Most High? What is there to fear? It's all love. It's all love, divine love, right? And it's there to help you maneuver this realm and learn more about, where you're heading, right? Within the higher realms of existence, right? And to notice, though, when you're starting in the beginning, you're walking into the unknown, and you begin to start to question everything. You begin to start to question religions. You begin to start to get the history behind them and where it all came from, and what the true message and the true meaning behind what it was really saying, and the breakdown of the true stories and what really happened is key to, getting back into your godly hood or your godhood, right? It is very important. And this is what's needed to break the spell, right? And to begin to see the world for what it is. And a lot of the times, when you're going along this journey, the journey will feel like you're walking alone, right? But again, knowing that you are not alone, the Most High is always with you, right? And even through your lowest moments, right, the Most High is always with you, right? And you have help. And as I go back and look at my journey and my lowest points, things that I've been through, with battling within myself, I realized that they're with me the whole time. The messengers, the angels, the ancestors, the Most High was always there with you, right? And that's something to really think about when you're maneuvering your journey, because when you begin to tune in, right, and connect back, right, to the Most High, that's when you begin to tune in and raise your consciousness levels up, right? So where you can communicate, right, again, and with your etheric parents, right? It's real, family. And you can connect back home, call home, and you can connect back home, right? And that's when you begin to receive more of, your purposeful spiritual messages, things that you need to know, in this lifetime, in these, or whatever you might be going through at that particular time, that is there to help you, right? Or encourage you to keep moving and move forward, right? To help you reach your destiny, right? So that's what it is. The right knowledge is going to help you to raise your consciousness levels up. Yeah, you're not going to like everything about it, right? You're going to feel some type of way, right? But all this is telling you the truth about the world. And the question is, are you ready for the truth, right? People sit there and say, oh, I want to know the truth, right? but are you ready for the truth, right? Because it's not gonna tickle your fancy, make you feel good the whole time. It's raw. It's just what it is. It's what things are and what things is. And it's like on some tip where, like it or not, right? And it gets to a point where it's not even about your likes and dislikes of it. It's just, like I said, it is what it is. It's bittersweet. But once you begin to understand your part in all and what you must do to raise yourself up, moving toward transforming yourself, right? You have to accept every part of it. And that's what it's about. At the end of all this, it's going to be about, did you accept the truth? And how did you live your life with your deeds and your intentions? And what did you do by weighing, your heart, right? And how you moved on this planet. It's very important because that would determine where you go next. And the thing is, that's why it's so important to listen to what the Most High says. That's why it's so important to live in His will and His way. And our master teacher, Dr. Malachi knows that way and knows a way to, get us back in the heavens where we need to be and begin to raise ourselves up to where we can, reach the planes that we once were in, And it's very important that people realize this, because a lot of the times, the whole thing of it all is in this devil's playground. They want to keep you, trapped here. They don't want you to, level up into the higher realms, right? They want you to keep you in the lower realms of existence, in the 3D realms and lower than that, right? So it's very important that you understand this, because a lot of people don't realize that they don't, want you to know, the truth of it all. And that's something you really have to think about. You think about it when you're being presented with these things, and when you begin to check out the works and you begin to do your research. Most people don't do that, and sad to say that most people also, they don't read either. And we were taught this. We were taught not to read and not to check things out for ourselves. We were taught this, and just to take what somebody says and that's it. And our master teacher teaches us that we must question everything. It's very important for your own soul and well-being, so you can begin to understand more about the life you live in existence and things that you can do here now, in the here and now, to correct yourselves while you're here and get prepared, right, for the life to come, right? It's very important. And the biggest part about it is that you don't lose your soul while you're here, fall in the ways of the world and material, plane of existence and carnal desires and things that, lead you away from the natural ways of the universe, which is our true way of life, right? And how, we are truly supposed to be living. And it goes back to cleansing. It goes back to purity. It goes back to cleaning yourself up. It goes back to obedience. It goes back to listening to what the Most High says. And I always going to say this because this is it. Because what the Most High says matters, right? And we're speaking about, extraterrestrials, family. And it is what it is. That's what it is. That's what reality truly is, right? And check it out, we are on a planet and universes. Y'all don't think that, you're an extraterrestrial. Oh yeah. And I'm just saying that's what this is, right? What people don't know, right? What people don't know, you are an extraterrestrial, right? A celestial being, extraterrestrial, yeah. You are. Some people don't know this, right? Right. And some people can also consider, or calling them angels and things like that. messengers and things like that, which is what it is. What an angel is a messenger, right, from the Most High. And yeah, even our master teacher called us, like, baby angels. And I remember him saying that, that we have to develop back into, supreme beings once again, right? So it's very important that in order to do these, to get this development going, you first have to get your mind right. You first have to get the right knowledge. And this is what I was taught, so this is what I'm telling you, right? You must read, family. And people sleep on this, but you got to get into the habit of reading. Again, you got to get into the habit, because this is what reality is, right? It's about, the knowledge, right? So you can begin to learn how to maneuver the rim, right? And knowing about our history, our mystery, about our family, and begin to see what happened, the past, and moving into what's going on right now in the present, and preparing for, what's next, right? The higher life. And it's very important that people really see it, because this is what life is about. Life is about, ascension, right? And realizing that you have work to do here on developing yourself spiritually. And this is not about physical aspects, because physical aspects are there, and of course you have to take responsibilities for what you have to do here too. It's about balance, but mainly you got to be focused on more on your spiritual aspects than the physical, because the physical can blind you. You know what you have to do to take responsibility, to take care of yourself out here. But don't get it to where you get to a point where you think, oh yeah, being successful in the physical world is more important than being successful spiritually. That's what I'm saying. And that form of success is developed in time, right? Being patient with yourself and following what the Most High is telling you, and with His instructions, and living your life that is pleasing to Him by being a good example, by living your life truthfully and honestly with every flaw in you, right? And being true to yourself and being good, right? Being agreeable, right? That's what this is. And showing love and being caring again, and caring about, the environment around you, and how you move, right, in this realm is very important. How you treat others, your words, thoughts, and actions, they matter, family, whether you realize it or not. Whatever interaction you have with people is very important, and it's being recorded. How you act, what you do. Do you give? Do you give back? Do you help? Or are you angry all the time? See, those are all low evil waves, right? And lower frequencies. And we have to move outside of those things and getting more into the higher realms of resistance with compassion, love, caring, sincerity, truthfulness, and being raw, and being real with yourself. Like, real. Like, this is who I am, right? This is what it is. And that's okay, right? Because you have to accept every part of you first, and then you can begin to work on yourselves with the things that you see that you need improvements, right? And that's what it is. That's what it is. And once you begin to move like that, and that's why it's so important to slow down, right? Once you begin to move like that and take every moment for what it is, and staying present, and definitely not drifting off into the future, right? but just focusing on the present and what you're doing right now, and always learning something new and developing your mind, your brain, and putting forth action on what the Most High is telling you with how to live your life, cleaning it up, right? Practicing healthier ways of living, right? Positive prayer, meditation, affirmations, taking care of yourself, making sure you're eating fruits and vegetables, drinking plenty of water, how you choose to drink water, whether you want to use fruits, whatever that is, right? Exercising, taking care of yourself. See, people think that this life is just heavy, right? A whole lot. It can be if you make it, but it's about living a simple life, severely simple life. It's not like you have to be doing all of these things, like I'm saying. It's quite simple. And once you get in that momentum of like living the lifestyle, you begin to see how so much beauty is really in life when you begin to slow down and pay attention to everything around you. And you begin to feel, the energies around you, your energy, and the positive energies around you. Because once you begin to move right, the nine ether forces begin to work with you when moving in the right direction. So it's very important that you begin to strip away everything that's not you. And you have to be real with yourself about it. Like, sincere. Like, and that's what it is. Once you do that, once you begin to see, oh man, I can't be doing this no more. Moving toward life, not death. I'm done destroying myself. I'm done killing myself slowly, right? With all the things that we call fun out here. And most of the time what we call fun is really killing ourselves and weakening our spirits slowly. And that's all a trap, right? To move towards self-destruction. So it's very important to see life and see what it really is. And that's how you begin to level up in the spiritual planes. Because once you begin to learn your lessons, right? And stop doing the same things that you've been doing and break free from those bad habits, because there's no shortcuts on this path. It's like you gotta break, either way you gotta break through. It's not like you can hold on and keep holding on, because whatever you are, that's what you're gonna be. Whatever you do, that's what it is, until you do what you gotta do. And then that's when it seems like when I do this on my journey too, it's like that's when the next door opens, when you're done. It's like, I'm not gonna say it's like a, how they do the leveling up door game. After you conquer a certain space in your life or level, right, then you move on to the next door open, and now you gotta conquer this, and it goes up like a ladder, the ladder, the spiritual ladder to success, I call it, right? And that's what it is. And everybody's on different levels of it, right? But first and foremost is what people don't know is the simple things, is that you have to have the right knowledge first, so you can learn more about what this world is and what happened to our ancestors, what happened. And once you begin to see, it'll become clear if you follow the instructions of our master teacher, Dr. Malachi in his scrolls. Because, like I said before, in each scroll he has labeled another book or highlighted another book in it where you should go seek out and find. And it's on my channel if you are interested. The books are on there, the scrolls, the pamphlets, a piece. They're all on the channel if you are interested and you want to go on this good journey with them. Because, family, you're gonna need it. You're gonna need it. So, I'm gonna leave it at that. Alright? Again, I want y'all all to know that you are loved beyond this world and in it. Begin to spread that love one to another. Be the peace that you seek. Release our master teacher, Dr. Malachi L. Peace, shalom, ashuk, divine love, family, and wadu. And it's all love.